I want to ask you a question. Who's coaching you? Who's asking you the tough questions? Who's telling you, man, you're the common denominator to all of your issues and challenges? Who's telling you, man, all day long, you become the magnetic pulse that attracts to you both good and bad? I want to be your life coach. I want to be the one that cheers you on to the finish line. I want to be the one that you ask the tough questions. And it doesn't mean that I have all the answers, but that means that you have a partner, someone who believes in you, not the you see right now, but the you can't imagine, the you that you are to become, the you were destined to be. I always say we both need the positive and the negative. It's not enough to have the knowledge of the matter, but we must have the wisdom as well. For wisdom settles it. And that's what I want to offer you as you join me on the Coach's Corner. I want to offer you the wisdom of the matter. Maybe it might be relationships, talking about our campaigns for more, for life, the dark room of our subconscious, our spiritual journey. Whatever it is, I want to be there to encourage you, to build you, to challenge you, to cheer you on to the finish line. I'm qualified to do this. Why? Because I'm you.
That's right. Welcome to another edition of the Coach's Corner right here on SIBN FM. I like to say FM. SIBN Radio, man. How are you doing? I trust that you are well. I trust that everything is going according to the plan. The plan, okay? And today we're just going to celebrate you, your artistry, your craft, and your birthday, your anniversary. Not going to even delay it. Just get the party started because you are the apple of God's eye. You're all we think about 24/7 right here on SIBN International Broadcasting Network. And we trust that you are doing the same. So, as we move forward in this day, this week, this month, this year, this decade, and this century, we want you to know that you are on our minds. And it's not enough just to listen to us, but you have to connect to bring the experience full circle. You have to connect. And so, let's talk a little bit about that, and we want to hear what you're doing, what your craft is, your artistry. Maybe you are a biochemist, maybe you are a singer, whatever it is. We want to hear from you. Thank you, Mr. Engineer. Hey, we want to hear from you as we approach the seasons here in the Atlanta area where we are broadcasting from our international broadcasting station. We want to hear from you so that we can celebrate with you and celebrate you appropriately. And so we're going to be planning a marathon very soon. Very, very soon we're going to be planning a marathon. But before that marathon takes off, we want to have a database of those of you that know talent, singing talent, poetic talent as far as what you've achieved in your career, what you've achieved in your community, not just church, but what you've achieved actually on boots on the ground in your community, the difference you've made in your circle. And so we want you to email us and let us know what you are doing that is positive, whether it be your talent, your artistry, or just simply some accomplishments, some great things that you are working on in your community. I want to hear from you. I want you to email me. I want you to email me personally, okay? Marcus Salette, SALETTE, @gmail.com. And I want you to say, hey, just wanted to share what I do and the difference I'm making, because we're in a stages of planning a marathon, and we want to be able to call on you. Make sure you put some contact information there, whether it be an email or a phone number. Make sure you put some contact information in there so that if we want to contact you to be on the show during that marathon, we can, by all means, do that. But we are excited about what you're doing. It's not enough for us to come and give advice and motivational, inspirational, spiritual, uplifting, all of these things, these wisdoms, these nuggets, if you will. But we want to also hear your side. We want to hear your take. We want to hear your wisdoms, perhaps. And so in this marathon, it's not about us, but it's about you. And the experience of SIBN Radio and the Coach's Corner is not full circle. It's not full circle until we do hear from you. It's not full circle. It's not full circle. So I've given you a very basic invitation. I want you to inbox me. If you're on Facebook, you can inbox me at facebook.com/SelectUSA. That's my personal page. You'll see it filled with all kinds of broadcasting content from various platforms where we air. But the point of the matter is you can also hit me up on Facebook and say, hey, I would like to connect. I want you to know that I'm doing this. Maybe you just wrote a book. Maybe you just finished your LP, as they say in the old days. Maybe you just finished a single. Maybe you just opened up a restaurant. Maybe you just graduated from college and you just got your brand new job. Maybe you just got married. Whatever the case may be, we want to celebrate you. So we are building our celebratory database, if you will. And so we want to hear from you. Now, if you want to call in what you do and what you share, you can dial 415-96-RADIO. And you can leave a voicemail on the hotline and say, hey, my name is so-and-so, calling from so-and-so, and I appreciate you guys celebrating me as I'm graduating with my master's. Whatever happens, this experience that you have with me as life coach, transition coach right now is not full. It does not come full circle until we connect. I want you to know that. And then again, it's not enough to listen to the words that I have to say on a daily basis, but it's important that we act. And just imagine, just as I have perhaps in some case or some shape, form or another helped you, imagine when you reach out and share who you will help. And this is the integrity of the matter. The integrity of whether you're a radio station listening to me, whether you're an individual listening to me, whether you're a church pastor or educational organization listening to me, this experience of you listening to SIBN Radio is not full circle until you connect with us, because the real celebration begins when you go full circle. And so many times we are aloof. The internet can make you aloof, where you're there to just, who is this guy? Who is this organization? And you don't feel like you have to commit to anything. But the integrity of the matter requires us to have a two-way connection, not just a one-way connection. I need to know whether or not I've begun to earn the right to speak into your life. I mean, you could call, email, or post on Facebook, facebook.com/SelectUSA. You can say, well, Coach, you're doing a horrible job. I hate your show. Every time you come on, I listen, but I can't stand it. But whatever the case may be, this experience with SIBN Radio's #1 show, The Coach's Corner, is not full circle until you and I connect. You're in Europe, Asia. We have the time and day differences and all of that. You're in Africa. You're listening over in Australia. I need to hear from you. There are several ways you can post where time does not matter. Email, Facebook, Twitter, at Select USA TV. And by all means, 415-96 radio, the hotline is open 24/7. You could always leave a message. Always leave a message. The only way we answer that line is when the radio station is open to take calls, live calls, and then we open the lines up. But other than that, you can always leave a message on 415-96 radio and give your shout out and all of that. And let's take it up a notch and have some real fun. So what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you struggling with? We celebrate the solution right here and right now. We'll celebrate the solution because we have to have anticipatory attitude that the results that we're seeing today will change, because when we change the way we look at things, as my partner always says, then the things that we look at will change. You see, prayer, my son had said to me one time through a text, he said, I prayed and nothing happened. Well, see, prayer is to get you prepared. and even prayer requires that you let go and let God. And prayer also requires integrity, in the whole matter. You just can't pray and all of a sudden everything's going to be all right. Prayer is to get you together. And so perhaps you're seeing some negative things here and there, some things that are not so good, or whatever the case may be, but it's just showing you what to improve on. We have to take a proactive attitude toward our own development here. I promise you, things are not as they appear. I promise you that. Things are not as they appear. Never. I have learned this. I am learning to master this thought right here and right now. Things are never as they appear. They are as you perceive them to be. Now, I need some help right there. They are as you perceive them to be. Once you change how you look at something, what you're looking at will change. Things, situations are never as they initially appear. It is not as bad as you think it is. And you have not, you have not tapped into the good that you've imagined. Because anytime you set a goal at any level, because you're a human being in the human experience under the auspices of a God who created the human experience around the world, He has already predestined, pre-planned for whatever you could imagine. He supersedes you every single time and gives you more than you could imagine, more than you could dream, more than you could think, you see. And so I want to celebrate you. Now listen, if you feel a hesitation to connect, there's something there that you need to cut, reduce, minimize. We are a global community. We are a global community. And I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't be on this microphone today. We were doing a lot of web TV productions and stuff like that. And one person suggested to me, why don't you do Coach's Corner? One person saw my frustration, saw my agitation, but yet saw my dedication and suggested something. And we don't like suggestions. I found that out. We think suggestions are just passing thoughts that someone just threw at us because there was nothing else to do. But your next suggestion could be your next key to your next dimension. And your refusal to look at and entertain, and accept suggestions, it could be the reason why you're still frustrated, agitated, and all the rest of it. So I want to tell you that we've got to connect as a global community, and we've got to learn to hear other people's stories. And in order to hear other people's stories, I, as a radio host or manager of the station, have to open up the portals. But you have to open up your heart. So I trust that you will allow us to celebrate you where you are. Don't you think you're worthy of a celebration? Of course. Don't you think you're worthy of, you know what I'm saying, for us to make a big deal? Of course you are. You know why? Because you are the apple of God's eye. And everything He did and created, He was thinking about you. He was selfish about it. Yes, he was. So, man, I appreciate you. Now, don't forget, you probably could tell that I've been sick for the past several days, but I'm getting through it. I'm making it through it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for your prayers and for your shout outs for those of you that are praying for us. Thank you so much. But had been real sick here lately. But thank you so much for following us on the various platforms where we air. iTunes. Thank you so much for following us right there on Spreaker. Blog Talk Radio followers, man, I'm telling you, it's growing real fast over there. We don't get over there fast enough. Thank you so much, Blog Talk Radio listeners. And also for those that are listening on the radio station, SIBN Radio by SelectUSATV.com. Thank you so much. Or www.415-96radio.com. Yes, the phone number is also how you get to the website. Imagine that. www.415-96radio is the call letters for the phone and the location of the station online. And thank you so much for those of you who are following me on Twitter. I surely appreciate you guys. I really do. Thank you, my Twitter family. Thank you so very much. Facebook.com/SelectUSATV. Thank you so much. I'd be remiss if I did not thank all the people that are listening to me on Shoutcast Radio Network. Thank you so much. SIBN Radio Network is on Shoutcast Radio. You can download Shoutcast for your iPhone, iPad, and listen to us there when you type in SIBN Radio by Select USA TV. That's my time, man. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next time.